Test Ickles. Welcome everyone to episode 688 of the Daily Mother Swole, the most muscular Swolecast, Beardcast, Mancast, Gaincast, Pimpcast, Nipplecast, and Bicepcast in the realm, because when I flex, you flex, we all flex our biceps. Let's do another flex for everyone, for all the hoes, the boats and hoes, the hoes that are on boats, because it's Sunday and hoes like to go on boats on Sundays, and so that's what they tell me. That's what they tell me. I don't get out too much. And when I go somewhere, I go inside the House of Iron, the steel factory, so I can make some sick fucking gains. Welcome to episode 688 of the Sleaze. And today is a live call-in show, so I'll activate the line in just a moment. But for right now, everyone come on in through the door. Remember, the number to call is 1-833 B Swole, 1-833 BESWOLE. So get your numbers, your phones, and all that stuff ready. And when I go live, when I activate the line, you'll be able to call, and I'll start taking some questions. So Sunday Funday, thank you for joining me live on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook, Sleazebook, whatever you want to call it. And remember, all the episodes are a podcast, SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts. Check me out everywhere. And also on Twitch. I am doing some streaming on Twitch and posting some cool stuff up. And I got a couple Driving While Gainings coming this week on Twitch, on YouTube. So it's going to be lit, like all the tits, all the nips. And I'm not talking about those little goat nipples. I'm talking about those big, like volcanic salami nips, right? The salami nips, I think that's extra exciting, and that might bring some more, that might just bring the audience in. So let's take some comments. What up? Let's see. Hillary, just the person I needed to hear from right now. Add psychic Swolio to your resume. Psychic Swolio. I like that. I am a psychic. I know exactly how to help you get gains. Really, YouTube I had to watch to get into, ad to get into the show. Oh, yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's on my end. If you got an ad. I don't know. Like, literally, fam, I'm a fitness dude. I like to make gains, and if I have certain selections of, just deal with it. Ads are ads. We're used to seeing them. So if it's on my end, apologies, but why not? You just made me a quarter or an eighth of a cent. So Papa Swole is going to make that rain on some bacon. So thank you for your contribution. I got an ad too. Yeah, okay, ads. Whatever. What's going on? Looking extra swole today, bruh. Thanks, Terrence. Thanks, bruh. Thanks, dudes. Thanks, dooskies. Welcome to Sunday Funday. The triple salami nips. Yeah, sharp as fuck. I know. I wish you could see. I wish you all could feel what I'm feeling. Like, for real. So make sure you like the broadcast, hit the thumbs up button. I can't wait to do this episode and take some calls. And I also can't wait to get the fuck up out of here and get some gains. I'm ready to pump today. I'm amped. So if you got your gains already, drop in the comments below. What'd you hit today? What'd you slam today? I don't think today is it's not a leg day. It might be some kind of glute stuff, but gonna be doing some upper body. I did some back yesterday, probably gonna do some arms today, possibly some kind of leg action, glutes. I don't know. I might feel that out. Maybe I'll do some curls and extensions or something, just kind of high rep pump them up. But today's an arm day. I'm just gonna kind of leave it up to the winds. I'm gonna leave it up to the gods when I go there. So what's up here? Got a pork belly on the smoker for some bacon gains. Saturdays are for the boys. Well, today's Sunday, so Sundays are for the boys. I'm assuming you meant Sundays. Streaming not so good, all broken up. Looks smooth on my end. How's everyone feeling? If you have issues on your end with your stream, you can exit out and come back in. I'm looking 100% smooth on my end, and usually that translates directly over. So you can comment below if you have any issues. But you can also check it out on Instagram and YouTube. We're live everywhere, so it might be your connection. It could be the app. Who knows? What's going on, fam? What's a good word? Let's see on Instagram. Bro, you don't have nothing down here in Broward. What does that mean? I don't know what that means. How can I make gains to my beard? Don't shave ever. And start lifting some weights. Always looks sunny where you are. Well, Florida is called the Sunshine State for a reason. I eat beans right out of the can. Gross. You're going to have a ton of lectins and inflammation. Stop it. I fucking love you, broski. You inspire me to be great, bro. Thanks, Brandon. Appreciate it. Notice me. I do. I do notice you. How can I make spiritual gains? Meditate. Papa Swole, cool. It's choppy, but you're roll with it. Cool, deal with it. Yeah. Deal with it. Deal with it. Who knows? Everyone's sitting around on a Saturday or a Sunday on Facebook. But yeah, we're looking good. I'm looking 100% smooth. Usually looks choppy on my end, so we're looking good. Video stream works great though. Okay, so if it's you, then just exit out and come back in. So I'm going to plug in the line. We'll just shoot the shit. So right now, let me make sure you're. Wait, hold on. I gotta get in there. That's what she said. Hold on. It's so tight. Shit. All right, we're good. So if you are interested in getting your question live on the air, you can call right now 1-833-B-SWOLE, 1-833-B-E-S-W-O-L-E. So that's all plugged in, ready to go for the first caller. If we have a caller, if we don't, we will chill and I'll take your questions right here. But 1-833-B-E-S-W-O-L-E. It's in the post description on Facebook. I'll actually put it in right now. Just a nice chill episode. I think it's great to open up the floor. I don't have a topic in mind. I don't have a topic specifically that we need to discuss today. So it's open season, your questions, and if you want to be live on the air, now is your opportunity to do so. So don't let that go wasted. Let me just 1-833-B-SWOLE. Let me put that over here on the Shinstagram. Who wants to be caller number 1 for the Sunday? 1-833, and of course, if you're on your cell phone, you're gonna have to leave the broadcast, but then you can always come back. But have your question ready. Otherwise, I will answer some stuff here. So I'll post that in the comments. We got our first caller. Just watch it be like a telemarketer. We got the first caller. There we go. Dun dun dun.
Grasshopper, call for extension 0. To
That's
accept,
right.
press 1. Send the...
All right. What's up? You're on the air with Papa Swolio and the Daily Sleazy. What's your name? Where you from? Hello? Did you hang up? Did you hang up on Papa Swolio? You afraid? You afraid of the gains? I heard someone on the other line. All right. Next caller. Do it again. We're good again. Someone hung up. Boo. Boo. Jabroni. Jabroni. I think someone like didn't think that they were gonna get through. They panicked. They wanted to test it. 1-833-B-SWOLE. So it works. It's working. We're just gonna have a fun time today. It's gonna be cool. So let's see. What's everyone training today? Like, I really don't care if you call or not. I think it's fun. So you can ask your questions here. We'll just chill. But the line is open. 1-833-B-E-S-W-O-L-E. 1-833-B-SWOLE. So we got a bunch of people watching on YouTube. What's the good word on YouTube? Back and biceps and shoulders yesterday. Gross. Is that Abigail? Is that referring to the beans in the can? Let's get this going.
Grasshopper, call for...
What's going on? You're on the line with Papa Swolio and the Daily Sleaze. What's your name? Where you from?
Jacoby Morris, Kansas.
What up, dude? What's going on, Jacoby? How you doing, bro?
Shoot, just some Sunday cleaning. How you doing?
That's right. I'm doing fantastic. What's your question, brother?
I guess my question is what really started your whole Swolenormous? What was the whole idea?
Awesome. Good question. Thanks for calling, bro. What started Swolenormous for me was I should say this. I've been completely in the fitness industry for ever since I was in high school. And I think that might have disconnected. So Jacoby, thank you so much for your call. But yeah, anytime you call, we're gonna call and get through, and that way I don't have to keep you on the line if it's just kind of like an open-ended question. But thank you so much for the call, Jacoby. I appreciate it. So I've been in the fitness industry since high school, essentially. I played baseball my whole life growing up, and I went through high school, fell in love with weights, and I played baseball in college, and I really hooked into weight training in college because it was very accessible. It was very accessible with my schedule and pretty much how everything was organized in the school. The gym was right across the way from me. So I fell in love with training. I stopped playing baseball and I fell in love with the weights. Left college and really got all involved with the industry. So, you know, a lot of you know my bio, my degree, worked with P90X, Insanity, Open Gyms, worked for the National Academy of Sports Medicine, taught their certifications, an educator. I was on the educating side of things, in addition to being in the trenches, opening gyms, doing all sorts of things. Now, what I always wanted to do my own thing. And I was creating websites, I was writing articles for my school paper when I was in college. When I left, I was still developing websites, but I never really, I don't know, it was the business mind. It was the business mind that never really took off, that I never really found I don't know, I never really put the pieces together. I never really saw where my direction specifically was. And I would say late 2015, 2016, I started to really push social media hard. I had done some things on social. I was doing, like, you know, I had a Facebook page, but it was all really weak. It was all really weak. I never really went in. I never really created a lot of content. And I think I was a lot like most of you. Maybe not as much now. Most people are putting out a lot more content than they maybe normally would have, 10 years ago. But I didn't really want to put myself out there. You know, I didn't want to be on camera. I guess the same thing. You feel awkward or it feels uncomfortable and you're filming yourself. And I just didn't really get into all that. And then I decided to really go in and put a lot of pictures out there, and, you know, beard pictures, and tag all the beard stuff, and flexing and doing selfies and doing modeling pictures. And then, you know, I was still training, I was still doing my own fitness, and it was all about, you know, me getting, you know, taking care of my body and doing my thing. But I was really burnt out with the industry. I was really burnt out with how everything was being, I guess, portrayed. Just being in the industry for that long really made me disgusted by it. I was really exhausted with it. You know, all the supplements, all the fake bullshit. And when you see it, when you're an educator, when you're coming at it from that perspective, you just see it for what it is. It's like going to a restaurant, you know, and eating and doing that for your entire life. Or those of you, float some hearts or thumbs if you've been a bartender or a waiter or a waitress, and knowing what goes on behind the scenes and seeing it from that angle, you think about things differently. So it's all perspective. And when my grandfather passed in 2016, my grandmother and my grandfather passed. And my grandfather he was almost 90 years old. And he was the spearhead of my technology. He got me my first computer. He was always up with technology. He was downloading illegal movies, and he was on Pirate Bay and downloading torrents and doing all the doing like all the hacking stuff, you know, while I was younger. Like, he was introducing me to the tech world. So he never really aged. And I saw that, and it was always in the back of my head. I always noticed how he always had the latest tech. He always had iPads, he always had computers, and, you know, he always had all the gadgets. And I look at I would look at other people's grandparents, and they were, you know, they didn't even have a computer. They didn't know what email was. They were just very archaic, and he was always up with the times. So it kept him current. And of course, he had his older generation habits, but he was always up with the times, and I never wanted to fall behind. And when he passed away, I realized I needed to adapt or die. So I decided to go all in. All of a sudden, I kind of had like an epiphany, because I had my Instagram title as Swolenormous, and my page was actually called Trainer Dash on Facebook. But all of a sudden, I had this thing. I'm like, everything's Swolenormous. Like, how did I not see this earlier? And I just changed everything. I went all in, and I started just creating content. And I wanted to be consistent with myself. I had so much to give, right? Because I've been an educator. The reason why I have so much content, the reason why I know so much, and the reason why I'm able to pass that along to you so well is because I literally taught in schools. I taught national certifications around the country. I taught and I educated people to become personal trainers. I prepared students for their personal training exams, for their performance exams, for their corrective exercise exams. Like, I literally prepared people to pass these personal training exams in the gym and in the classroom. Like we had a whole long program that I taught them hands-on, foam rolling, corrective exercise techniques. That's why I know so much, because I have a lot of experience teaching it to others, which is why I'm able to teach it to all of you. And it just all of a sudden made sense. Like I wanted to do a show, I wanted to do a podcast. Like I didn't have all these. Obviously, I started with the podcast, but I don't know how many of you were here from the very beginning, but there was about 22 to 26 episodes before it was a Daily Swole. So I know we're on 688, but it's actually been about 710 or so days completely straight, because I rebranded it Daily Swole and I started from zero. But I called it, I think it was Swolenormous Live or something basic like that for the first 20 something episodes. And then I started over and I started calling it the Daily Swole. And the first episode, Counting Gains, which a lot of you heard, that wasn't the first daily thing that I was doing. And I just went in. I didn't have I didn't have a plan. I didn't have a plan for like a business. I wasn't planning, like right now there's Swolenormous X, right? My membership site. Like Swolenormous X, even Swolenormous like none of that was planned. I didn't know I was gonna do that. I just knew what I wanted to offer. I knew what I wanted to do. I knew I wanted to share and put myself out there. And I think that's what the key was when he passed away, my grandparents passed away. They were very integral in my life and giving me my first computer and facilitating the technology in this world, because I didn't have the money to get a computer. Like when I went to college, they gave me, as like, a going to college gift was money, and I got my, my laptop for college that I had for several years. So they really made it available for me. For this technology, and made it possible for me to stay up with it. And it just made sense after he passed, especially. I didn't want to fall behind. I didn't want to be one of those old people that, what are these kids doing with those glasses on? Virtual reality, what's that? It's adapt or die. And I know a lot of people are pushing away social media and, I'm not watching, Facebook. I'm trying to leave Facebook because there's too many, I'm trying to, detox, or I'm staying away from my phone, I'm staying off. Those people are going to die. Like literally, they're just going to fall behind. And I'm not saying that you can't make your own choice and you can't do what you feel is right for you, but anyone that's, leaving Facebook or cutting this out because it's too much, you're trying to pull away, you're going to fall behind. That's like what I realized is you're going to be one of those old people that doesn't understand how the world works. Whether you're a business person, whether you're a mother, a father, a son, a sister, a brother, a friend, it doesn't matter. If you don't stay plugged in, I know it's a big difference. When I was growing up, there weren't cell phones. Like I was at that cusp of the generation where I remember answering machines. I remember beepers. I remember not having all of this. So I understand the perspective, but you're going to be one of those people that just dies out. You in 50 years, you'll be that old person that doesn't understand what those meddling kids are doing. Get off my lawn, man. Like you're not going to understand the technology, and you're going to be a fucking dinosaur, and you're going to have a lot of trouble and a lot of problems interacting with the world. And I don't want to do that. And it starts now. So fucking A, like I'm literally streaming video games on Twitch. I used to love playing video games, but I'm like, fuck it. Twitch is a growing platform. That's huge. I'm going to be posting content on there. So now, I have a great computer, so I'm fucking gaming, and it's fun. And I'm going to be posting some of that stuff on Facebook and Instagram and YouTube, and it's fun. I'm making fun videos over there, and I suck, but who cares? But I'm staying plugged into what's going on. And along the way, I found my journey. I know this is long-winded, but a lot of you don't know the backstory, so that's why I'm kind of going a little bit extra, because I don't talk about it a lot, because I guess I lived it, but I'm sure a lot more of you are probably curious. I never really discussed it too much. But it's important to stay up with things and not fall behind. And not falling behind starts now, and you might not be realizing it, but by maybe pulling away from technology and stopping and downshifting your use of social media, you are going to disappear. You're going to fall behind. And I hate to say it, but you will. You will fall behind, and you will be that old person that doesn't understand how the world works, that doesn't understand the latest app or the latest technology. You're going to be that person eventually. And I never wanted to be that. So I just went all in. I was like, you know what? I'm going to go all in. And it worked. But it wasn't right away. I didn't have a lot of people watching. I didn't have a lot of people consuming my content. I didn't have my private site with all my videos and programs. I didn't have that. I didn't have that when I started. I just had here, and I had the desire to never quit. And that's it. I just haven't quit. That's literally the difference between people that have success and people that have failure. I mean, and not even that. It's the difference between people that have success and don't, because I've had failure, but I just didn't let those failures stop me. I've done things that haven't worked. You know how many videos I've made that just didn't get a lot of views? Hundreds and thousands. But I've also had several that had multiple millions of views that were very successful and viral, which is, some of the places that a lot of you have found me. But I wouldn't have had those videos had I not made the other couple thousand, because you cannot hit a home run with an at-bat you don't take, right? That famous, was that Michael Jordan quote, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. And that's cliche, but it makes sense. You have to put yourself out there. If you don't do it, you have no chance of success. So I just did it and did it and did it. And if something doesn't work after a while, I stop, I try something else, but I keep going. So that's what started Swolenormous. That was what really the catalyst was. It was a desire to never be extinct, and the desire to always be relevant and to plug in and to make the commitment to myself to always be a part of this society and to dominate it and to make sure I learn and stay up with it, because no one's going to feed information to me. Everyone's out for themselves. And if I don't do this, I realize if I don't do this and I don't focus my energy, my attention, and go all in and really learn this and be a part of it and learn like how it works and really use it to my advantage, then I'm going to fall behind and it's not going to be good on the back nine. So that was my reason. Long answer, but thank you so much for that question. I'll take a couple comments here on the comment, then I'll activate the line again for the next caller. Kobe Morris, wait, was that your pink shirt, your fat viral video hooked me about 7 months ago? That got so much, that's still going around. Actually, it's going around in a different form, and it has like a couple 100,000 views already, because I couldn't resurface and reuse the same ad because I couldn't edit it. But the first one had like 5 million. This one has like a couple 100,000 already. Yeah, the man bun and the pink shirt. Those comments are hysterical. There's nothing better than the comments in those videos. There's nothing better than the comments in those videos. Those things are fire. People really fucking hate on that. So I'm going to, just got back in the gym after years away from any real physical routine. Any recommendations to get after without hurting myself? Yoga. Get back into yoga regularly. So I'm going to plug the line back in. We are live again. Thank you so much for the question, that first question. So the line is active. We'll take the next caller. We'll do one, maybe two more. So it's 1-833 B Swole, 1-833. We're going. Take it up.
Grasshopper, call for.
What's up? You're on the line with Papa Swolio live on the daily. What up? What's your name? Where you from?
I'm Hillary, and I'm calling from Santa Cruz, California.
Hill, what's going on, girl?
I love your on hold music.
Yeah, it's like, what is it? It's like my words over like some rap beat, right?
Yeah, that's great. Everyone should call and listen to it.
You hear what Hillary said? So right now, if you call, you'll hear my music. It's like my ringtone or whatever. I almost forgot what I did because I did it like 4 o'clock in the morning, like a week or two ago. So yeah, thank you so much for calling. What's on your mind?
So I'm out of the state to work out, and I want to split. I remember you saying you don't like to do the whole back bicep thing. And I want to know how to split it up so I can do weights 6 days a week.
So you want to talk about training split? Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, so training split. How many days a week are you planning on working out?
6 for weight.
Okay, so you want me to talk a little bit more about. So all right, so what are you doing currently?
Oh, right now I'm doing back and biceps, and then shoulders, chest, and triceps another day, and then legs another day.
Okay, back and biceps, chest and triceps, legs, and you said you're doing Swole. Yeah, you're part of the community.
Yeah.
Okay, right. So
I just got mixed messages just because that's just my work schedule. So I thought, well, I'll just ask live.
yeah, okay. So you're good. So in other words, this week you're working out more, and you want to know how to split it up.
Exactly.
Okay. All right. So in terms of, and I'll keep you on the line here, so just stay tight. When it comes to a training split, there are a couple ways to go about it. You can increase the frequency. So for example, if you want to do chest twice per week or legs twice per week, you can do that. You can also extend the split. And what I do want to get across, because it could be more advanced for some of you, and some of you might have never heard this concept, but you can actually extend your cycle. It doesn't have to be a 7-day cycle. We get trapped into this mindset that every kind of routine is based on 7 days. And when you think about it, it's because the calendar is like a cage, right? Everything's in a box, everything's in a square, everything's in a week. And we're used to this 7-day cycle, but there's really no rule saying that everything you do has to be within this 7-day period. I experimented with 9-day splits, with 10-day splits. You can do 5-day splits. So really the premise of constructing your own training plan is to give each muscle group sufficient time to recover between you training that the next time. So if, for example, if you train chest on Monday, International Chest Day, you don't want to train chest on Tuesday. You're going to train chest at the earliest, most likely either earliest Wednesday, most likely Thursday, Friday, in that same cycle. So it depends on your experience, your volume, how long you are doing your workout for. So if, for example, on Monday, if you're doing chest and you're crushing it, you're going to need more rest time between your subsequent chest workout than if you did, let's say, a 20-minute light chest workout on Monday. You might be able to hit it again on Wednesday, Thursday, no problem. Are you trying to build more muscle, or are you just trying to exercise more and you just don't want to overdo it?
No, I'm like 60 years old, so I just want to, and I've been doing this for a while, but I haven't really gotten as much information as I have since this is your show. It's amazing. All these years of following people. I even worked at Jack LaLanne's when I was like 16.
There you go. Nice. Well, I appreciate that. So you see,
we used to have to wear like 3-inch like pumps and work 12-hour shifts. And it's like
right.
crazy. But yeah, it's just I've listened to you, so I'm getting really serious. I could do it and split it, and I have an hour at lunch, then I have some time after work. So if I had to do it before and after, I could. But I
gotcha.
Really helped me with learning from you not to overdo it and not to stay for 2 hours. That really helped me a lot.
Right. So you don't want to overdo each session. You don't want to train something too frequently. So what I would actually recommend, if you want to do something more frequently, you could even play around with things like push-pull splits and upper-lower. For example, if you did something where you isolated earlier in the week, for example, if you did your chest and triceps workout, you did a leg workout the next day, you did some yoga, in those extra days, you could either cycle through it again, or you can try and do maybe like a push where you're doing a little lower body, a little upper body, and you're hitting kind of like a little bit more of a dynamic split rather than isolating the same things again. So you don't have to fear overloading each individual body part, but you're still hitting the same ones, but in a more, I would say, in a more general manner. And then as your cycle continues the next week, you go back to your more granular split. Does that make sense?
That makes a lot of sense. Because
Yeah.
I guess I got locked into the have to do the same thing certain days forever and ever.
Yeah, well, I mean, and that's the beauty of it, because, like you said, I mean, you're 60, so you're not looking to, get massive or get on a stage. You're looking to be healthy and be more active, but you're also mindful that you don't want to overdo it. So the importance of making sure you don't overdo it is really important, and everyone, even people that are my age and everywhere in between, needs to pay attention to that longevity aspect, because you overdo it now and you're going to have injuries that could potentially plague you for years. So if you want to try that, I mean, recommended. I guess we got other calls. I got to figure out how to turn off the call waiting in the meantime, so it's not blowing people's ears out. But yeah, you can cycle back through. You could also change. You could do, like I said, upper, lower, or push-pull in the second half of the week and kind of tone down the intensity and the volume, and then see how you feel from that for doing the workouts and doing the muscle groups twice per week, but in a lower volume on the second half, and then seeing how you react for that.
That's wonderful. And I do the yoga and all that stuff, and I cut back on the cardio. I've learned a lot from you just in a month. It's amazing. And if I ever do get on a stage with like 70-year-old grandma bodybuilding, I'll look at the things to you.
You can do it. You can do it. They have them. That'd be freaking awesome. I'll be there.
Okay, that's the deal. Thank you so much for taking the time. You're awesome.
You got it, Hill.
Everyone about you over here in California.
Rock on. Thank you so much for calling, Hill. We'll talk soon.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye. Awesome. So that's a great, and I'm actually going to deactivate the line for a second. We'll do one more caller. But just to reiterate what she was asking, and I do want to make sure that that point was clear and just reiterate that one more time. Your training plan does not have to be based on 7 days. Some of you might already be aware of this. A lot of times in my programming and in my conversation, I just use a 7-day split because it doesn't scare anyone. It's not super foreign. We all use a 7-day routine, and that's usually important for people because of your work schedule. We're used to doing days 1 through 7. However, it doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be day 1 through 7. You could do a 4-day split. You can do a 7-day split. You can just take your mindset, instead of saying, okay, well, how do I stretch it out for a 7-day period? Maybe I just do a 4-day period and I cycle that twice, and I do days 1 through 4, and I start again on Friday, and that's day 1 again. You don't have to necessarily start day 1 on Monday all the time. Or you can do 1 week that's more intense. Maybe she does chest and triceps twice in that week, and back and biceps twice, and legs twice, and wow, that's a lot of resistance. And then the following week, she does upper lower and drops the intensity and drops the volume on each body part, and that way it's less stressful. So let's take one more caller. If they come back in, I'll plug the phone back in, and again, I'll try to figure out how to get rid of the call waiting. I don't really have like a call center or a hold button. So that kind of like loud beeping is pretty annoying. So apologies for everyone's ear holes, but we'll take one more caller if it's available. I'll take some questions here. In the meantime, remember the number is 1-833-B-SWOLE. Next one. Awesome. Hello.
Grasshopper.
Yes.
Call for
What's going on? You're on the line with Papa Swolio, live on the Daily Sleazy. What's your name? Where you from?
I'm Christy, and I'm from Alexandria, Minnesota.
Minnesota.
Hi.
Minnesota.
Yeah, Minnesota.
What's going on? What's your question?
I am wanting to know how to help my kid gain some weight while he's lifting 5 days a week. 3 of those days he's lifting 2 days a week, and wanting to know like what kinds of foods are good for him to be eating, especially when competing with school practices, weightlifting sessions, all of that.
How old is he?
15. He stands 6'4" and he's 210 pounds.
So he's tiny. So he's
I'm tiny for 6'4".
right. So he's 15. What year is he in high school? Is he a sophomore?
He's a freshman.
He's a freshman. Okay, so he's a big boy, and he's playing football, I assume.
Football, basketball, and track.
All right, so he's still just doing everything. Wow. All right. So you're trying to help him build muscle, you said?
Build muscle and put on some size because he needs to be strong and
put on some size.
down that line.
The kid's a tank, right? Okay, so in other words, you need to make him not blow over like a twig, right?
correct.
Okay, so he's 15. His metabolism's crazy. He's growing. Obviously, he's growing. He might even get taller than that. I mean, he's still in that growing period, and there's a lot of controversy when it comes to kids and when they should start lifting. And I think it was far overblown back in the last 10, 20 years. Like, if your kids are lifting weights, it's going to stunt their growth. I don't believe that's anywhere near true. As we've seen, kids are lifting and working out, and there's no stunting of growth whatsoever. Obviously, your child is 6'4", so there's no shortage of growth from him. But what I've noticed is, I mean, the severity of the training is what would limit something. It would damage the epiphyseal plates, and it would affect the growth, but that's not the issue that we're concerned with. We're concerned with giving him enough calories. So what are you feeding him now?
In the morning, he has something light, and this is before he goes and hits the weights on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So it could be like a whole wheat English muffin with some peanut butter or something like that, on it to give him a little bit of protein, a little bit of carbs before he goes and hits the weights. Then after he gets done with lifting, it's a protein shake and something else, that has protein and carbs in it to get him through to lunch. And then he eats whatever the school lunch is, and Lord only knows those aren't great. And then he gets a snack in between school and practice, which could be a sandwich of some sort, a piece of fruit, and some trail mix, all sorts of different things for snacks we do.
Yeah.
And then, a supper but whether it be like potatoes, sweet potatoes, rice, something like that, we try to eat fairly clean.
Yeah.
So
it's
that's
hard.
what a supper is going to be like. And then 2 hours later, he's down rummaging through the fridge again to eat before he goes to bed.
Yeah, it sounds like because he's probably hungry all day, because it doesn't sound like he's really eating a meal until later on in the day, like eating for dinner. Like, I mean, I know what high school is like. I remember, you're on the run, and when you're a kid, you don't care too much about, proper nutrition, and a lot of those foods are inflammatory. But it's hard for me to. I mean, I don't have, all the insights. It's hard to give a kid certain foods, especially when he's exposed to a lot of junk and a lot of sodas and crap that the school is going to be pushing, which I don't even want to think about, because the school food system is horrendous, and the nutrition system in this country is absolutely awful. But when you want to build muscle, let's just talk about the basics instead of getting into like the details of what the foods are, because that's going to vary from person to person. The calories. And I always come at nutrition from, okay, if you're eating the right shit, you don't have to count shit. Now, that being said, that's from a general standpoint. If you're looking to be healthy, lose extra body fat and water weight and extra stuff that you might be retaining from inflammation, you don't have to worry so much about what you're counting and then, measuring and weighing stuff if you're eating the right foods. However, calories exist. They're not some mythical creature. You definitely need to be consuming enough of them. And if he's having trouble putting on weight, then it's going to come down to eating more food. And from what it sounds like from a big kid who's literally still growing, you can't be growing off like an English muffin and peanut butter and a snack and a little school lunch and having a dinner. The reason why he's rummaging through the fridge at night is because he's still hungry. And it just sounds like he needs just more calories. Because if he's not gaining weight, of course, he's still growing. So it's a tough situation when you have a 15-year-old. It's not the same as a resting metabolism for like a 25-year-old, someone that's kind of stopped growing already. His metabolism is through the roof because he's growing rapidly, and he's extremely active. So that caloric intake to have extra, to put on size, to put on extra weight is going to be significant. So if he's not gaining to his satisfaction or to everyone's satisfaction, because of course, you as a mother, you don't want him to get hurt on the field. If he doesn't have enough weight, he's going to get knocked around. I don't care how tall he is. You definitely need to give him an increase in calories. So I don't know if you have any idea of the amount of calories, but that could be something that you actually do start looking at, is how many calories is he consuming, and then it'll give you a ballpark of how much you should be increasing it. And that could be as much as a couple hundred per meal, and then seeing how it goes for him. And also things like the off season, when he's not in the middle of all these sports, are great times where he can focus more on the consumption, because the weight training is great, his activity is great, he's a kid, so he's growing and he's running around with his friends and doing all sorts of stuff, but it's going to come down to the eating, and the eating is a job like anything else. And I attribute all my results to my eating and my consistency with eating, because without consuming proper amount of calories, the weight training is not going to be fueled. You're not going to be able to repair. You're not going to put on size. And bulking and putting on mass is all about eating more food than you need to maintain. And you might be full. You have to eat anyway. You might be stuffed. You have to have another sweet potato. You might not want to eat in the morning. You got to eat, because there's only so many hours in the day, and you need all of them to get in sufficient calories, especially if you're someone of that stature that needs to put on that much extra mass. So aside from checking out the elimination diet, the plant paradox, these other concepts of whittling down the best foods, he's still going to be eating inflammatory foods at school. So I'm not even going to touch that, but you can always check out some of my other content if you're interested in some more of those types of information. But more calories. It's just that simple.
So to give him extra calories throughout the day, I mean, is it something where, we set an alarm, on his iPad or Chromebook or something that says you need to eat after this class, and
you can
have him run down to his locker and cram something down his throat?
You can. To be honest, just letting you know how I did it. Like, I'm not, and this is not a recommendation. This is not from a nutritionist of anything, of course, but I am someone who was of average stature, and I gained 50, 60 pounds over the course of a couple years. And it was literally by eating by my watch. I had my old classic throwback Casio G-Shock, and I would set the timer for 2 hours, and when it went off, I ate my next meal whether it was time to, whether I was hungry or not. I would eat my food, and it wasn't really a snack. I never did snacks. I did meals. Like, it was time to eat, so I ate, and I ate food. And the more you can focus the consumption around meals and eating like meal type foods, the better he'll be, because he'll be getting more nutrients. A lot of things like snacks, like protein shakes, they're not giving him any nutrients. It's just like, it's like liquid and protein that may or not be absorbed. A lot of those proteins have heavy metals in them. Studies are coming out that just show like the processing of those proteins are highly inflammatory, not to mention the other stuff and contaminants that are in them. Like, I don't do any protein shakes now. I did back in the day. I wouldn't recommend them to anyone particularly, because you can get plenty from food, and as Americans, we're in no shortage of protein. So it's more about the fat, the carbohydrates, and just consuming the overall calories. So when you're getting in, let's say, a sweet potato, you're getting all those extra micronutrients, as well as just the protein, carbs, and fat. So yeah, you can, if he has trouble remembering to eat, an alarm could be excellent. And you'll hear a lot about intermittent fasting, this, that, and the other. Well, no one does intermittent fasting to put on size, to get big. No one bulks doing intermittent fasting. It's a classic bodybuilding style diet, in my opinion. It's eating frequently, because when you eat frequently, you get your body used to digesting frequently, and you're able to, over the course of 24-hour period, consume more calories overall. So if you're giving yourself a tiny window to eat and you're snacking all day, and then you're trying to stuff it in late at night, you might fall short, but giving yourself more opportunities throughout the day will allow you to increase the overall surplus to put on size. But remember, he's 15. I mean, I wasn't doing this when I was 15. So, you know, I started really bulking up when I was 18, 19, 20. So his metabolism and his growth, and, you know, the amount of calories it will take to put on size and to look like size on a 6'4" frame is going to be a lot different than myself. And I'm about, you know, just under 6 feet, 5'10", 5'11". So it's going to take a lot more for him to look big and to put on size, because he has a bigger canvas to put it on, if that makes sense.
It sure does.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for your call. I really appreciate it. And if you have any other questions or follow-up, you can feel free to message me, Instagram, or on my Facebook page if you want to follow up with this at all, okay?
All right, sounds good. Thank
All right.
you so much.
Thank you so much for the call. I appreciate it. Feed your boy. Feed your boy. That was a great question. That was a great question. And a lot of you messaged me about having kids, and a lot of you that are watching are younger and you're trying to put on size. Now, aside from just doing, okay, elimination diet, and don't eat these foods, and what should you be eating? Should you be eating peanut butter? Should you be eating wheat? Aside from all that stuff, yes, there are certain foods that you as a human being are going to react to better, but it's still going to come down to, are you eating enough of them? Because I don't care how clean you're eating, if you're not eating enough calories or enough nutrients from that source, you're not going to be putting on size. And that's just how the body works. So it's one thing to eat the right shit, and then if you want to bulk up, you're going to have to turn up and eat more. So that was a great question. Thank you so much for your calls. Remember, next time, I'll let you all know ahead of time if we're doing the live call in, and I will be, I'll post that up my Instagram story. And I like the idea of Sundays because people have a lot of time free and everyone's kind of lounging around. So for now, we'll probably do this on a Sunday thing. Maybe we'll add some more during the week, depending. But thank you so much for everyone that called. I appreciate the phone calls. Thank you so much. Great questions, by the way. Great episode. If you enjoyed the live call-in, make sure you drop in the comments below. Let me know what you thought. If you haven't liked or shared the broadcast or give me a thumbs up, give Papa Swole a thumbs up. Subscribe on YouTube if you're watching on YouTube. And if you like these, like I said, the live call and the live streams, and the live call-ins on the Daily Swole, make sure you drop in the comments below. It's time for Papa Swole to get his pump on. So I wish the same for you. If you haven't lifted, go fucking lift. Go get your pump on. Go make some sick fucking gains. I am going to myself. And it's an interesting thing. It's either going to be legs. I think it's going to be arms. Yeah, I think I need to get just get a sick arm pump. And I'm probably going to do some Instagram stories and flex in the mirror and do all the gym selfies and all that stuff. I'm just feeling like, yeah, I'm just feeling today, you know? You know that feeling where you just have like, there's nothing else to say, just So thank you so much, everyone, for joining me for 688 of the Sleaze. I'll see you tomorrow, Monday Funday for 689. Remember, follow me on Instagram for my Instagram stories. I'll keep you updated with the vlog in the story feature. And you can catch me every day live. Remember, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and the podcast, SoundCloud, and iTunes. I'll get yesterday's episode and this one up today so you can have it tomorrow for your commute. Peace, McGee's fam. Deuce Magoose. I'll see all of you in Swolenormous X. If you haven't checked out my private site with all my programs, nutrition content, yoga classes, virtual training, instructional videos, everything, check it out, swolenormousx.com. Peace, McGee's. Deuce Magoose. Papa Swole. Out. Laters. Slaters. Slaters.